Hi, this is Mary with Melodies, and this is the second in a series of sort of harp lessons that I'd like to bring forward for people who are really busy, like a friend of mine named Susan who owns a small restaurant, and she wants to play for her customers, but she doesn't have a lot of time because she's a business owner. So these are some sort of tricks and tips to get you playing with integrity. I think that that's the whole point. We want you to be able to play with integrity and honesty and to honor the instrument, even though you don't have time to practice and you may not even have a book. One of the things that I underemphasized in the first lesson was that the reason we come to the harp in this position with our fingers pointed down instead of like this, which a lot of people naturally assume that you play the harp with the palms parallel to the strings. But the reason we don't do this is that we play with the side of our fingers. So you're playing with the side of the finger. And one of my students brought that to my attention, and I am grateful for that because I underemphasized that. And that might just make all the difference in the world to you to know that. If you want to play for the people in your store or your family or the people at church, or if you want to play a meditation, for example, it's very important to play with focus and with intent, the best tone and the best hand position possible. And I think one of the things that is a stumbling block or that is kind of a pitfall of people who don't have time to take lessons is that when they approach the harp and they're going to play with this finger, that they extend only this finger, when in actuality, all of these fingers work together. So when you approach C, for example, on the harp, you want to approach it with an open hand. Rather than going right up to the string and then opening your hand up, you approach the harp with a relaxed, open hand. If you're only using the second finger, all of your fingers work together. And I think it's really, really important to not rush anything at first. Take your time and get used to the feel of the instrument. So those are two things to start out with. If you watched the first video and you have an understanding of not approaching the harp like this, of approaching the harp like this, probably should explain that a little bit better. There's not one finger that is protruding. All the fingers are working together. That's what I mean by approach the harp like this. Once you get very used to that, you can start playing just red Cs with both hands. So you could play a low C, and then the C above that, and then with this hand, and take that very, very slowly. A lot of beginner students want to put their right hand on this low C or whatever, however big your harp is. But they want to put the right hand down here. Let the left hand take those notes for now. You can play different passages that require that later on, but for now, the left hand is here. So what you can do is have your hand prepared. That's another thing. If you look prepared, you will look more professional and you will have better tone also. So play the low C. The right hand is already on this string, so you don't have to really look at that note. You can look at the next C, and you can look at the next C. And you can put the left hand back on where it was. So that's your next exercise that you might consider doing. You get your tone from the pressure that you put on the string. So you don't want to just, you want to put your finger on that string, put a little pressure on it. See how I'm displacing the string? And then release it gently.